Howdy folks, and welcome to my extended vlog for this week. Gonna be a slightly shorter video than usual, the main reason being I'm not gonna go hugely into a large topic like I have been for a few weeks. I do have a few more that I want to do. I'm not out of ideas or anything like that. I just really haven't had time to put one of those together majorly this week. And I've got a lot of changes to my own DDP yoga journey that I want to put on here and discuss slightly longer anyway. So how did my week go? Well, it's been an interesting transitional week. I am back to doing the 2 workouts a day, which is absolutely awesome. I have changed the way I'm doing them though, and if anyone's trying to do 2 workouts a day, I'll go over this because maybe it might help you too. I was doing the harder of the 2 workouts. I don't like using the phrase harder. I do, usually Energy Red Hot Core is one of the workouts I do, which I consider the easier of the 2 workouts. I had been doing that in the morning when I got up before I had food. And what I've changed is I'm now doing that one after I come home from work on an evening, which means I'm also doing the longer workout in the morning, but I'm eating first. So what I'm doing is I only have 1 carb a day now. That's something else I've changed. So I have 1 carb in the morning, wait an hour, then do the harder of the 2 workouts, which is strength builder, stand-up, that kind of thing, diamond cutter as it was today. 142 heart rate average, awesome. But then I do the shorter workout on an evening, and I probably engage in it a lot less than I might normally do. It's more of a stretch, except for the Red Hot Core, where obviously you really can't not engage. And that seems to be working really, really well for me. Another thing I've done is I've cut caffeine, I was about to say out of my diet completely. That would be a bit of a lie. I've cut caffeine out of my diet, but I'm still drinking decaf coffee or decaf green tea. Now, important note for anyone who actually wants to cut caffeine out of their diet, decaffeinated products aren't completely without caffeine. They tend to reduce it. The average, from what I found online anyway, is about 95%. So I'm still getting trace amounts of caffeine, but I feel a lot better for it. With having the visitors that me and Suze had over, I had to adjust my sleep patterns about 3 or 4 times in quick succession. A real 180 as well. I normally work a night shift, as a lot of you know. And I had to use far too much caffeine to do that. That really wasn't working that well for me. So I cut it out completely. I am over the headaches. My equilibrium is just about back on track. Important note actually to anyone who does give up caffeine at any point, my balance goes personally whenever I do it. It doesn't seem to be that common a thing, but it's worth knowing that that could be a side effect. That actually seems to have helped a lot with my muscle engagement as well. As I just mentioned, I just came off a really successful diamond cutter there, which is why the hair's a mess. Actually, it probably looks better than it usually does in these videos, because now it looks like I actually brushed it. Anyway, yeah, being off caffeine seems to have helped with my muscle engagement. I got a nice 142 average heart rate on the diamond cutter there. I managed both 5-second push-ups, and I planked for the 10-second one. That's definitely progress. Upper body getting stronger. Handstand in December. Gonna get there. But it's overall been a really, really good week. I'm finding my equilibrium in stand-up, even with giving up caffeine, it seems to be a lot better when I do that in the morning. So that's good. It's a lot of positive progress this week. I'm very impressed. I thought it would be difficult getting back into the swing of things after having the vacation, but it seems to have worked out really well thus far. So shout out this week. I want to throw a shout out to my parents, who are on their 2nd week of DDP yoga. They actually had some comments on the food they'd been eating, which I'm going to get to in a second. Maybe talk slightly longer than I was thinking of doing. Shout out to September, you're still doing really, really well. And major shout out to Katrina, who recorded a video that I think is really great about people being supportive on Facebook. You did kind of steal one of my topics, Katrina, but I forgive you. Hi, Yoga Dog. She has a dog we all call Yoga Dog. That's not me just being really insulting. And I'm going to actually post that video on my blog just below this one. because it's a really good video to watch. Now, I would say, actually, to the guys I have on Facebook, it doesn't actually apply to a lot of you. You guys have actually been really, really supportive. Barring a couple of exceptions, you've all been very much positive about the whole thing. It's been absolutely great to have the support. Even those of you that haven't had anything nice to say, just haven't said anything at all, which I can absolutely live with as well. So, thank you for that. Ooh, I'm glad I remembered. Very important announcement, guys. Another huge thank you I have to give, this time to everybody. This blog just went over 1,000 views in what is just a little under 2 months. That's absolutely amazing, guys, and yeah, before someone says it, I know they aren't unique visitors, etc. Although I know they don't include me, I do have that set up. But that's absolutely amazing. I expected to have maybe 1 or 2 people watching this. Even if, you know, it's the same 30 people looking over and over again, to have people looking that often at the blog and being interested in these updates is absolutely amazing to me. I know a couple of you have taken up DDP Yoga from looking at the blog. I always said if I could get 1 person to do that, it would be absolutely worth my time putting these vlogs together. So that's absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you, you're all amazing. Keep it going. Let's see if we can hit 2,000 before Christmas. So, just a quick topic I wanted to discuss here. So, my parents both mentioned to me that they were getting a little bit bored of just eating salad, having just started doing this for 2 weeks. I should mention, and again, I know I gave them a quick shout out there, they're both doing really well. They are hitting gluten withdrawal like a ton of bricks. Guys, and to anyone else that cuts gluten out of their diet, just bear with it. It does get better. I know, Dad, you were saying you were getting headaches, but the headaches have gone now, and now you're just kind of getting digestive issues. That's absolutely fine. That happened to me as well. Just keep going. It does go. But you did mention you were getting slightly bored with the food you've been eating. What I would say when that happens, and it happens to me as well, have a week where one day in the week, let's say once every day in the week, you try a different meal. Now this can be recipes you get from anywhere. There's a great recipe called allrecipes.co.uk, allrecipes, all one word, .co.uk, that has a ton of recipes. There's an awesome coriander, apricot and lentil soup recipe that I do from there. I can throw that link on the blog as well. There's so many recipes for curries on there, so many recipes for Italian meals sort of without the pasta, that kind of thing. But there's so much you can do that's gluten-free that isn't salad. I get the concept of starting off as on doing salads. I would even recommend that. Frankly, my own food tends to be very boring, certainly during the week. The weekend I might start getting a little bit more adventurous. But go and look online, there are so many resources. The only real annoying thing is that you can't just Google gluten-free. If you do, you're just probably going to get desserts that don't contain gluten or dairy. Not particularly beneficial to anybody unless it's someone's birthday. But yeah, you do have to kind of go looking through lists. But allrecipes.co.uk is a great place to go. Telly just turned itself off. I have a big space age telly. It sings to me when it turns off. Also, I was recommended a cookbook by the lovely September called Forks Over Knives. This is apparently based on a documentary, which I've just found is on Netflix, and I'm actually going to watch after I finish putting this online. Which seems to be a lot of vegetable-based recipes. Again, stuff like that is fantastic. What I would say to look for in cookbooks, certainly, is stuff for celiacs. And there are a ton of books out there. If you have a specific style of food that you like eating, I love Japanese food, personally. You can probably find a celiac-friendly cookbook for the style of eating that you like. Amazon is a great place to go looking for those, and just go on Google as well. And you can find tons of stuff like that. I've actually got a recipe I'm going to try out called macaroni not cheese. which is a recipe September provided for me. A lot of shout outs for you this week, September. And yeah, I'm going to try that. That looks like a great recipe. I like macaroni cheese is actually something I love. Before I stopped eating gluten, I used to do a recipe called cheeseburger macaroni, which is macaroni cheese with mince, maybe a little bit of tomato sauce in it. Absolutely beautiful, fantastic comfort food. Now, obviously, you know, macaroni you can replace with gluten-free pasta. That's no big deal. But this not cheese part of the recipe is looking quite interesting, so I'm going to give that a go as well. But to anyone that is getting bored trying to do gluten-free food, especially if you're starting out, go and look online. Go and look on Team DDP as well. There's a fantastic recipe page there. There is so much stuff you can do and so much variety you can do. Don't let the gluten thing be a barrier. The only thing I would say, keep an eye on your ingredients. If there's a sauce that needs making, make it. Don't go buying one. They contain crap usually. If you can find one without gluten, frankly, I'd be very impressed. But make sure you're making everything yourself. It takes a bit of extra time, but it's well worth it. Anyway, that was everything for this video, folks. Quick mention, I do not have a question for this week's Questions from the Plank yet. I had a bit of a buffer. You guys stopped asking questions. So if anyone has a question, please leave it in the comments section. Leave it on the YouTube comments. Feel free to leave it on Facebook when I post this. Any questions, so long as it takes sort of 2-3 minutes to answer, that's about my limit at the moment. That's relating to DDP yoga, my own DDP yoga journey. Or, you know what, if you have something slightly more fun that you want to ask, I have no problem doing a question that isn't strictly related to that. I'm still doing the plank anyway, it's all the same benefit for me. Right, that's it for this week, folks. I am out. Have a good one. Peace.